Someone left you. Maybe it was recent. Maybe it was a long time ago. Maybe it was someone you loved deeply. A partner, a best friend, someone you thought would always be there. And when they left, it felt like a loss, like something was taken from you, like you weren't enough to make them stay. But what if I told you that their leaving was not a punishment? What if it was a redirection? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see every person who ever left you in a completely different light. And the third reason is the one that will hit the hardest. Let's start with something most people never consider. Not everyone is meant to stay. I know that sounds simple, maybe even obvious, but think about how you actually live that truth. Because most of us don't. Most of us spend months, sometimes years, trying to understand why someone left, what we did wrong, what we could have done differently, how we could have been more, so they would have stayed. But here's the question nobody asks. What if staying wasn't theirs to do? What if their role in your life was never to be permanent? What if they came to teach you something, to show you something, to push you somewhere you wouldn't have gone on your own, and then leave? Because that's how growth actually works. Not in straight lines, not with the same people forever, but in chapters. And some people are only ever meant to be one chapter, not the whole book. The first reason they're leaving was your upgrade. They were keeping you comfortable in a place you had already outgrown. Think about the relationships that ended in your life, not just the painful ones, all of them. And ask yourself honestly, who were you when that relationship was at its peak? And who are you now? Because here's what I've noticed. The people who leave us almost always leave at a moment when we are on the edge of becoming something new, something bigger, something that the relationship, as good as it may have been, could no longer contain. And staying would have meant choosing comfort over growth, choosing familiarity over expansion, choosing who you were over who you were becoming. The second reason they're leaving was your upgrade. It revealed what you actually need. Most people don't know what they truly need in a relationship. Not really. They know what they want, what feels good in the moment, what they're used to. But what they actually need, that's a different question. And loss has a way of answering it. Brutally, honestly, completely. When someone leaves, the silence they leave behind is not empty. It's full of information about what you were getting from that relationship, about what you were giving that was never reciprocated, about the version of yourself you were shrinking into just to make it work. And in that silence, if you're brave enough to sit with it instead of immediately filling it, you learn more about yourself than years of therapy could tell you. You learn what you were tolerating, what you were pretending was okay, what you were calling love. That was actually just familiarity. What you were calling connection, that was actually just fear of being alone. And that knowledge, as painful as it comes from, is the foundation of every better relationship you will ever have. Because now you know, and knowing changes everything. The third reason, and I told you this one would hit the hardest, their leaving created space for the right people to find you. I want you to think about this very carefully. Every relationship takes up space. Emotional space, mental space, energetic space, time. And when you are full, when every space is occupied by people who are wrong for you, there is no room. No room for the right friendships. No room for the right partner. No room for the version of yourself that those right people would have brought out. And here's something I need you to really sit with. The right people cannot find you if the wrong ones are still in the way. Think about the best relationships in your life right now. The friendships that feel easy. The people who actually see you. The connections that make you feel more like yourself, not less. Would any of them be there if the people who left hadn't left first? Most of the time the answer is no. Because the departure of the wrong people is always making room for the arrival of the right ones. Always. Even when it doesn't feel like it. Especially when it doesn't feel like it. So what do you do with all of this? How do you actually move from pain to perspective? The first thing, you stop making their leaving about your worth. Someone leaving you is not evidence that you are unlovable. It is not proof that you are too much or not enough. It is simply proof that you are not the right fit for each other. And that is not a failure. That is information. The second thing, you get curious about what the departure is redirecting you toward. Instead of asking why did they leave, ask what is this making room for? Instead of trying to understand what you did wrong, ask what am I being redirected toward? Because every ending in your life has been pointing you somewhere. And the sooner you look in the direction it's pointing, the sooner you find what was always waiting for you there. The third thing, you trust the timing. I know that's hard, especially when the pain is fresh, especially when you still miss them, especially when you can't yet see what's coming. But here's what I know to be true. Every person who was ever meant to be in your life permanently is still there. And every person who left because they had finished what they came to do. That's not a consolation. That's That's just how life works. People come into your life to teach you things, to show you things, to push you toward things. And when the lesson is complete, they move on. And so do you. Tell me in the comments. Is there someone who left your life that you can now see was actually a redirection? I read everything. And if this video reached someone who needed to hear it today, share it. It might be exactly what they need right now. See you in the next one.